Hey everybody, happy October 2011. In honor of it now being officially October, I wanted to do a Halloween and video gaming vlog and just sort of go through every system and pull out a few games that are definitely Halloween or horror related and you should check out. I'm going to keep this under 10 minutes like I do all my videos, so I'm going to go really quick, but I'm trying to hit almost every system at least, probably leave a few out, but here we go. On the Wii, a lot of people own the Wii and they don't really own a lot of games. They don't know what to own on it, and they think their Wii's a pile of junk. But there are quite a few cool games on there, and if you're a fan of horror games, you got one Silent Hill game that's come out on there, Silent Hill Shattered Dreams. Not a lot of combat, but a good story, and if you're a fan of the Silent Hill games and you never played that one, it's also available on the PS2 and the PSP. Resident Evil 4 on the Wii. Resident Evil 4 is also on the PS2 and GameCube. Sort of a very different Resident Evil game compared to all the other ones. If you played some of the old ones on the PS1 or N64 or Sega CD, any of those. As a Resident Evil also, there's Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles. Both of those are on-rail shooters. That means you don't control where your character moves, you're just controlling where you're shooting. We get, let's see, Cursed Mountain, which I actually dug this game a lot. You play the guy looking for his brother who climbed up the Himalayan mountains, and there's ghosts and spirits on the mountain. Very different story. I dug that one. We got Dead Rising, Chop Till You Drop. Dead Rising originally came out on 360. Dead Rising 2, also 360 PS3. That is sort of like a Wii exclusive remake of the original one. It's okay, not too bad. Also, Alone in the Dark. The Wii version sort of sucked, but if you only have a Wii and have a 360 or PS3, that would be a sort of bottom row choice. But let's see, let's move on to another system. There's a few more on there, but we'll skip by those. DS, you got remake of the original Resident Evil from PS1 days. You can play the original game or a enhanced DS only version. And there's Touch the Dead, which is a zombie and mutant monsters first person shooter game on the DS. Pretty sweet. I actually forgot all about that game until I just picked it up right now. Kind of funny. I haven't seen that in stores for a long time. Dementium the Ward. Game plays in 60 frames per second. If you really don't know what that means, it just means it runs really smooth and looks nice. First person again. You're trapped in a psycho ward, basically. And then there's a sequel to that called Dementium 2. And that has a really cool cover. It actually won some awards for the cover of that game. I'm also sick right now, so pardon me for clearing my throat 5,000 damn times during this video. We jump over to... There is a Resident Evil on the Game Boy Color. This is how I have all my Game Boy games stored, so I really don't know exactly where it is right now. We'll just mention that, and that's about it. We got on GameCube, remake also of the original Resident Evil. Probably one of my favorite versions. Graphics still hold up really well today. Sorry about the glare, guys. Added a bunch of new content as well. I own... Ooh, don't want to jump on the floor. I own all of the original Resident Evils on GameCube now. They really originally didn't come out on that system, but Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, and one more of the sort of the original series, Code Veronica X. This one is GameCube only. One of probably the best horror games, in my opinion, of all time, just for the fact that it tried a lot of stuff very differently than other horror games. It actually could screw around with your system, it make you think their TV volume was being turned up. A lot of other little goofy things that it could do, but very innovative game, and I wish more horror games used techniques like that to kind of bring the horror out of just the gaming and the TV and bring it into real life. Tricked me a couple times actually. There's also Resident Evil 0 on the GameCube. You can see it right there, maybe. I'm not going to try to pull it out on the bottom stack there. It's a prequel, basically, to all the Resident Evil games. We have... Dun dun dun! Mr. Bones on Sega Saturn. And not really a horror game at all, but hell, it features a skeleton of an old blues guitar player. Let's see. We got the original House of the Dead, which surprisingly on consoles, this is the only system you can buy it on, Sega Saturn. Very classic first-person on-rails, again, shooter. If you ever played the House of the Dead games in the arcade, that's where most people have played them. What am I at? About 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes. Enemy Zero. Very unique game where you don't actually see the enemies, you only hear them. And it was a game that was sort of designed with, the creator designed that with deaf people that wanted to play games in mind as well. Let's jump over to this side. Let's see. Silent Hill Homecoming on the 360. It's also on the PS3. Probably some of the best combat of the Silent Hill games, but some people didn't enjoy the story and stuff as much. I thought the boss battles also in that game were amazing. The first Dead Space game, very super gory. You kill most of the enemies by just chopping them up into little bits, their arms and legs off. I've done a lot of horror game videos, like I've mentioned before, so I'm trying to pick out maybe some that I haven't done. We'll jump to, let's see, original Xbox maybe? Oh yeah, definitely. Again, not a horror game, but it is a zombie game. Stubbs the Zombie. Very comedic, very funny. It runs on the Halo 2, or no, with the original Halo engine. So it played really well. It's multiplayer as well. Let's see. We'll jump over to PSP. On PSP, sort of a goofy game like Stubbs the Zombie, Deadhead Fred. Basically, you're playing a guy. You can kind of get a better look on the back of that guy right there, who has interchangeable heads. And you can, from like a scarecrow-like head to just a brain to, where's some of the other ones in there? Like a Jamaican guy, I believe. Interesting game. Undead Knights. You control an army of zombies. And kind of, there's the dude right there. You're control, or you're in charge of. For kids, not so much scary or gory or too much anything. Death Jr. Pretty cool game. Just an adventure, like platformer adventure type of game. Keep breathing, keep breathing. PS3. Where the fudge? On PS3. I'm gonna jump past PS3 right now because my PS3 selection is a little misorganized. I'm not gonna take it out, but Alan Wake. You might hopefully can see the title right there. Super awesome psychological horror game with some really good just atmosphere, just really cool deep in the woods atmosphere. On PS2, I have everything sort of categorized. By sort of, I mean, yeah. Let's see. Fatal Frame. This is Fatal Frame 3. In America, there are 3 Fatal Frame games that have come out. You have a camera, and that is your main source of getting rid of the enemies, is trying to take their picture. Siren, another like very Japanese culture influenced horror game. We got about less than a minute, guys. Oh no! All right, PS1, original Silent Hill, one of the greatest horror games of all time. Clock Tower. Super cool game. You don't really control where the characters and stuff go. It's more of like a point and click type of game. And there's 2 of them on there. Clock Tower 2 looks like this. But they're still fun. Pretty interesting. Like good classic horror story to them. There's like a murderer around. Echo Knight. Pretty decent. Creepy game. That's it, guys. Hope I showed you enough. Peace out. Happy October. It's here. Halloween. Woohoo. Peace.